Hey everybody, Montreal Canadiens take on the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight at home in Montreal. We're going to talk about the game, about what Montreal needs to do to win. I'm going to give my predictions for the game, and I'm going to give the new lineups. There's some new lineups in practice anyway, and I think that'll go into the game tonight. And we'll talk all about that right here at Talking Habs. If you want to get more of my videos, just go down there and subscribe and ring the notifications bell, and that's going to get you your daily fix of Bleu, Blanc, Rouge. And while you're down there subscribing, leave any comments you may have in the comment section below about this video, about the predictions for the game, what you think is going to happen, anything you'd like in the comment section below. So let's get right to it. Okay, first off, on a side note, if anyone's expecting me to do a Don Cherry video, I haven't up to this point because I didn't want to tackle the subject on Veterans Day. I thought that was very inappropriate. I thought it was inappropriate for him to get fired on Veterans Day. That doesn't give my view. So if you think that's my view, totally, you might be wrong. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow in my video podcast, so hopefully you'll look for that. So I will be tackling Don Cherry tomorrow on my video podcast. So let's get right now into the game tonight. Okay. So Columbus comes in, they're 1-5-1 in their last 7 games. It's typical, first of all. The team lost so many good players last year. You knew they weren't going to have a great season. They started off well. They had a lot of people thinking, oh, well, maybe they're going to actually do this. But, the season catches up to you at some point. And for really bad teams that are really struggling with personnel and all that and talent and scoring, it's going to catch up around the 20-game mark. That's usual. And I think that's what's happening to Columbus here. Now, Montreal is 5-1-1 in their last 7 games. They had some really good games. They won on the road in Arizona against Vegas. They lost a pretty bad stinker to Dallas in Dallas. They played a bad start against Philadelphia and then a good finish, although they lost the game in overtime. Still, it was a good finish. And then they played LA, and they came out pretty strong in the first period and then had to hold on for the win, although it wasn't like it was in doubt that much. And then we faced Columbus. Now, before LA game, I said one of the things that worried me was that they were going to possibly take them lightly because they're not a very good team, and that's usually a disaster. Usually, it's like playing prevent defense. It doesn't work. And they didn't really do that. They struggled in the first 5 minutes because of the new lines, I really think. And then they picked it up and held on, and it wasn't really a problem. This game's very similar because they just juggled the lines again. I'll read them to you in a second. And I'm worried that it's a bad team. They're going to overlook or take them lightly. And that's where a loss could come. And you don't want them losing against teams like Columbus because we need every single point we can get. And when you're playing teams like that, if you want to be a top team and have a chance in the playoffs, you've got to beat these teams. And so that's what they got to do tonight. So now Claude Julien's juggled his lines again. I'm going to read them to you right now. The first line is going to stay the same. Drouin, Deneau, and Gallagher. Second line is Byron, Domi, and Armia. And I honestly am not sure. I think that might be the same as as last game. Now, the third line is changed. It's Tatar, Suzuki, and Lehkonen. They're giving Nick Suzuki another shot at center. And I guess see how he does. I thought he did pretty good. He wasn't spectacular, but I thought he was comfortable there, and I think good things can come from that. Fourth line is now Thompson, centering Paling and Cousins. That's oddly, to me, it's odd that they've got Paling on the left side and Cousins on the right. I would think, for me, I would have switched that, but look, it's up to him to do. Wingers can play opposite wings, I know that. But sometimes when you're used to one side, maybe it'll affect. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. So those are the top 4 lines. The defense in practice, because Weber is sick with the flu, is Mete and Folan. Don't get worried. Folan's not playing first pairing defense. Apparently, Weber didn't practice, but he will be ready for the game. That's what I just read on Twitter. I've been waiting for that to do my video to find out something about Weber and to find out if there are any line changes. Were they going back to the original lines? Were they keeping the lines from last game? And they weren't doing either. They changed them up a bit. So second pairing is Sherratt and Petrie, and third pairing is Kulak and Fleury. I thought Kulak did okay. Definitely deserved to be out there again. I want to see Brett Kulak every game. I think he's a better defenseman than Riley, and he should be out there. So that's the lineups. Now, what do they need to do to beat Columbus? Columbus isn't playing very well. Apparently, they're playing the backup. His name is hard to pronounce. Elvis. I'm just going to say Elvis because everybody knows that name, right? So Elvis is in nets tonight. He's not flipping hamburgers. He's playing hockey for the Columbus Blue Jackets. There you go. Big conspiracy theory right here, right now. Elvis is still alive, and he's playing hockey for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So we've got Elvis Misleekins or something like that. It's got a weird last name. I think he's got an .882 save percentage. I don't know what his. I didn't look it up. I'm not doing very many stats today. So Columbus is primed to be beaten tonight. Honestly, right? They don't have the scoring depth. They don't have the defense, and they don't have the goaltending. So Montreal, if they don't look past and they play their game and establish it as early as they can, they skate, play a 60-minute game, and keep that defense tight. We don't want to let a team like this be scoring against us too much. You want to see less than 2 goals. 2 goals or less. Now, on the Montreal side, I didn't hear if Price is starting, although they listed him on top in that lineup that I read. He's listed Price Kincaid, right? So I'm assuming it's Carey Price. Montreal needs all the points they can get. And obviously, if Kincaid isn't playing here, don't forget, Kincaid was... Columbus picked up Kincaid at the trading deadline last year, but didn't play him. They didn't have confidence in him. You'd think this is a game Kincaid would want to play and want to show Columbus that he is a good goalie. Now, if Julian's not playing him tonight, it tells you everything you need to know about how Julian feels right now about Kincaid, and he doesn't have confidence in him. Price is playing. Because, again, LA would have been a good game for Kincaid, and so you think is this Columbus Blue Jackets game. So he's not playing there. Let's see, the few stats I will go over. Montreal's power play that I was worried about. I'm just looking on my computer. Sorry, guys. They scored the 2 power play goals. So that sort of, brought their percentage up a little bit because they were dropping. It was really good, and it just kept dropping every game, and I was a little worried that they were going backwards, but it doesn't seem like they are. So they're at 21.4% for 12th in the league. Columbus's power play is 14.3% for 28th, or 5th. Not very good. So their power play isn't very good. Still, with parity in the league, they can score, so you got to be careful. Montreal's PK has come up to 72.2%, or it might be down. They were at 72.5. They are 29th in the league, and Columbus, here my dog barking, is 76.5%, and they're 25th in the league. So their PK is a little bit better, but honestly, anything under 80% is not very good. Montreal needs to get their PK up above 80%. You got, because when you add, to see if a team's doing good on special teams, you add the PK and the power play together. It's got to go over 100. Team's doing well. Montreal's not there yet. So there's that. So, what is my prediction for the game? I don't think Montreal is going to take Columbus lightly. I really don't. I don't know how the new line changes are going to work, but I like the fact that he's got Suzuki on third line center because I think that's where he should have stayed there. When Poehling came up, I don't think they should have moved Suzuki. I thought Poehling should have been the one to either play the wing on the third line or to be on the fourth line wing that Suzuki was playing and work his way up. So I'm glad to see that. I think Montreal will have a good game. I don't think they're going to... I hope the LA game kind of gave them food for thought, that now they're playing Columbus, which is a similar situation as LA with 1 extra win. They got 6 wins, LA had 5. And they don't take them lightly. And they have actually a little bit better showing tonight than they did against LA, because there was a couple of times there where, I don't know, they let their guard down or whatever, but LA kind of looked like they might come back. Even though it wasn't, I wasn't totally worried, but, like I say, when you take a team lightly, you take that chance that they surprise you, and you lose the game. So, my prediction for the game. I am going to predict this one at 4-2 Montreal. I did not write this down. None of this video was scripted. This is all ad-lib. So I'm kind of liking that I'll predict it right at the last second and give it off the top of my head. So I'm predicting 4-2 for Montreal. I have a feeling the fourth goal might be an empty netter. And I can easily see it be 4-1. But I'm going 4-2. Don't know why. And there you go. There's my prediction for the game. I think Montreal will have a good showing. They are currently 1 point behind Toronto with 2 games at hand. They're in third. Toronto's in second. A win tonight will leapfrog them over Toronto. They'll be in second. Doesn't mean they're going to hold it there. Apparently, the difference in points from like the top 7 to 20, there's like 3-4 points in all those teams. That's what's separating them. So it's a really tight race already. It's getting to the point where teams will start to fall out, I think, because things shake out. Around the 20th game, things shake out. The bad teams go into their bad, and the good teams start to get better. That's how I see it. So hopefully that'll happen here. That's it for my review. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, if you like it, you give it a thumbs up. While you're down there, if you haven't already, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe and ring the notifications bell. And that's going to get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge right here at Talking Habs. And once again, thanks everybody for watching. Look out for my video podcast tomorrow where I will tackle the Don Cherry controversy, if you want to call it that. And we'll go from there. So thanks for watching, everybody. Go Habs, go! Let's kick some Blue Jacket ass. Bye, y'all.